Lowering your A1C can be really frustrating. You can be working so hard at it and you just can't get it down. First, let's make sure we all know what A1C is. Your A1C test is measuring how much sugar in your bloodstream has attached to the red blood cells throughout your whole body. The higher your blood sugar levels are, the more sugar will attach to your red blood cells, the higher your A1C will be. Your A1C result can actually be translated to an average glucose level. So if your A1C is 7.0%, that means your blood sugar level is an average of about 158 milligrams per deciliter. It's an average. It's not a perfect picture of where your blood sugars are, but it gives you an idea. A non-diabetic person's A1C is going to be anywhere from 4.5 to 5.7%. The American Diabetes Association recommends that people with diabetes aim for an A1C below 7%. Thanks to medications and technology today, that is reasonably achievable for many people, but it's not easy. So don't beat yourself up if you're struggling to get your A1C down under 7. Here are 5 tips to help you lower your A1C if you live with type 1, type 2, gestational, or prediabetes. 1, go for a walk every day. If you're not exercising every single day, it's time. If you are not exercising every single day, you're missing a huge opportunity to improve your sensitivity to insulin and decrease your A1C. Even just a regular old walk, 30 minutes a day, can have a huge impact on your blood sugars. Walking is the fountain of youth. It's not a secret. You gotta do it. I know it doesn't feel like a whole lot. We think, oh, we gotta jog for an hour or go to CrossFit in order for exercise to be worth it. It's not true. Going for a regular old walk every single day, or 2-3 times a day if you can make it happen, is so beneficial to your A1C, your insulin sensitivity, and your blood sugar levels. If you take insulin, going for a walk is not a simple thing. It can be complicated. Walking can increase your risk of hypoglycemia, but I can teach you how to not go low on your daily walk in this book. Find it on Amazon. 2, stop drinking all your calories. Stop drinking juice and soda all day long. How many calories are you consuming a day just in beverages? If you're throwing back cans of soda, you might not realize you're actually consuming the amount of sugar in a bag of Skittles. By simply removing sugary beverages from your diet, from your daily calorie consumption, from your daily habits, you could eliminate anywhere from 30, 60, 100 grams of sugar from your diet. That sugar is keeping your blood sugar elevated all day long. That doesn't necessarily mean you want to start swapping out all the soda or the juice for diet soda. There's a lot of controversy over diet sodas these days. Just because something has 0 calories in it doesn't mean it's necessarily harmless and certainly not healthy. Take some consideration into how much diet soda and fake sweeteners you're consuming. You know what? Try some water. 3, prioritize your carbohydrates. Choose the carbs that matter most to you. You don't have to go on some crazy ketogenic diet where all carbs are the devil. It's not necessary. But you might want to think about, all right, how many carbs am I consuming throughout the day? How often am I consuming really starchy carbohydrates? Am I having tons of bread at lunch and then tons of pasta at dinner? That's a lot of starchy carbs. Wait, what about all the cereal? Oh my gosh, cereal. So take a look. How many times a day are you consuming really starchy carbohydrates? Then ask yourself, which carbs matter to me most? You really love that bread at lunch? Is pasta really important to you? I'm not suggesting you never eat pasta. So I save some of my daily carb consumption for the carbohydrates that mean the most to me. The ones that if you took them away, I'd feel really deprived. Most people can't sustain those really restrictive low-carb diets for very long. That's why it's important to find a middle ground, a balanced amount of carbs that you feel good eating, that doesn't leave you feeling desperate for carbohydrates, binge eating all the carbs after a week of trying to not eat any carbs. 4, take a look at your caffeine consumption. Here's the thing about caffeine. One of the ways that caffeine gives you energy is it tells your liver to release more stored glucose. That stored glucose will raise your blood sugar. So if you depend on coffee all day long, or you're drinking sodas all day long that contain caffeine, you're contributing to your blood sugar. Even if it's black coffee with 0 calories or 5 calories or diet soda with 0 calories, that doesn't mean it's harmless. It could easily be increasing insulin resistance and your blood sugar levels all day long. Number 5, eat more vegetables. I know that's so annoying. Of course, we all need more vegetables, but just imagine if instead of a ham and cheese sandwich with a bunch of bread at lunch, you turned that into a ham and cheese salad with a bunch of vegetables. The more whole food you're eating, the less processed junk you're gonna be eating. The more processed food there is in your diet, more likely the more processed starch there is in your diet. And that starch gets digested, broken down into glucose, and spikes your blood sugar like whoa. All of these tips are really about increasing your sensitivity to insulin so that you need less insulin to keep your blood sugars in your target range. There is one thing to consider. If you have type 2 diabetes and you're doing all of these things and you can't get your A1C down, there's a very possible chance that you have been misdiagnosed and you actually have type 1 diabetes. So if you're doing all these habits and you're working so hard to get your A1C down and it's not budging and it might even be going up, talk to your doctor about getting screened for the autoantibodies of type 1 diabetes. Also, something to consider for people with type 2 diabetes, not everyone can get off of insulin or reduce their insulin needs with lifestyle habit changes. There is an aspect of type 2 diabetes called beta cell dysfunction, and that means that over time, your body is simply producing less insulin or is less able to make use of the insulin that you do produce. So don't beat yourself up if you need help from medications in order to get your A1C down. That A1C number can be really frustrating. It can feel like a pass or fail. Work on it bit by bit. Look at every day as another opportunity to incorporate just a few habits. You don't have to be perfect. You can do it. Thanks for watching Diabetes Nerd. Find my books on Amazon.